Water polo coverage continues from Woodcreek High School's aquatic complex. We turn our attention to girls Division II as the Oakdale squad takes on Rio Americano in the girls Division II championship game. Jeff Kurtz once again alongside Neil Martin. Neil, Rio Americano's head coach Tyson Friend trying to make this a double for the day. He's already won in the boys' side. He's in his first year coaching the girls, and after a 10-year run as champion, Rio Americano lost to this Oakdale squad last year in the semifinals. Then Oakdale came up short against Del Oro, who has since moved to Division I. Both teams looking for a bit of redemption today and a measure of revenge on the part of Rio Americano, hoping to knock off Oakdale in the championship game.
Absolutely, and Rio Americano are the favorites going into this game. And during the break, we had a you've won too many championships win moment. We saw the Rio Americano head coach, Tyson Friend, actually change his clothes in the locker room. He did bring a change of clothes that he could change into after winning the men's championship. So he was ready, and he knew that he might be in for 2 championship wins today.
The question is, does he bring another set of clothes if they happen to win in the girls' side as well? There's
see.
Being prepared. I don't know if Coach Friend was also a Boy Scout at one point in his life, but he's certainly prepared today. Now, does he have his squad prepared to face this Oakdale Mustangs squad led by head coach Diane Klein, who is a very formidable opponent? They have been running through the bracket here on the girls' side of things, and with wins earlier against Del Campo by 10, El Dorado by 12, beating Vintage by 1. Do they have what it takes here today?
We shall see as we have the opening tip here.
And Oakdale in the white caps going left to right will start out with the ball. Is getting to it first Katie Vanderberg, tossing back to Cassie Lee. Rio Americanos in the black caps, they're going right to left. Oakdale in the white caps going left to right. If you're just joining us for the first time here today, 7-minute periods in girls water polo as in the boys. You get 3 timeouts for the entire game, and you can be excluded. 3 of those on one particular player, you are out for the game. An exclusion creates a power play situation. You'll hear a lot of whistles as we go along. Those whistles will just be temporary stoppages of play for the most part, and those temporary stoppages of play result in a player having to back off the player they just fouled. We'll see those a bit. Meanwhile, Rio Americano on the attack, and we got a turnover. Our officials today, Candace Walthaler and Brian Masson. Masson on the far side of the pool, Walthaler to the near side. You know they're the officials because they're all dressed in white.
Yeah, very interesting uniforms for water polo officials. I've never really seen them before. I've never actually been to a live water polo game, so.
Though you followed the sport for years, though, it's great. So here we go. We've got ourselves a match where the score is 0-0, a turnover on the part of Oakdale, and now Rio Americano, the long lead pass from goaltender Avery Dodderer into the offensive end to Haley Baker. Baker, a starter along with Celeste Brown, Dodderer, Emmy Savage, Raya Minnow, Emily Perry, and McGree McDougall.
And look at Rio's offense right now. They had 4 players in deep in the 2-meter zone, so they are playing aggressive here offensively early on.
And we've got our first power play opportunity, and we've got a whistle and a goal.
Yeah.
Oakdale thought they had the save. In fact, their goaltender, Haley Benson, a little bit surprised, but instead the goal goes to Rio Americano. They take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and that was really great offense. Like I was saying, right off the bat, they just went for the goal. They had 4 players right in front of the goal, 2 people on the perimeter, and their goal right off the bat was to get the ball in deep into that 2-meter zone and get a quick goal, and they did. So very well played offense by Rio.
I didn't even catch who got that goal for Rio Americano. Meanwhile, we had an extra Oakdale cap in the pool that they had to remove. So now Oakdale on the attack. And with the ball, waiting for offense to get set, is Vicky Swarthout. Swarthout. Shot clock in girls water polo now at 20 seconds. Getting open in the inside. Nice job is Shelby Stender, and she forces an exclusion. So now Oakdale with their first power play opportunity.
And they get a fresh shot clock to do that.
And the goal shot is deflected by Dodderer. Nice save. Oakdale will keep possession with 5 minutes remaining in the period.
10 seconds left in the exclusion. Oakdale keeps the ball, and they get a fresh shot clock, so they still have a pretty good opportunity to score a goal here if they can pass the ball effectively and get the ball in near goal.
Oakdale with it far side. That was Katie Vanderberg, who was looking for Swarthout. Finally gets the ball to Swarthout. Back to Vanderberg. Nice catch. And then going right over is Minnow. Now we're back at even strength. And now we've got a whistle. Clock stopping with 4:45 remaining in the first period. Now everything gets reset. Pass in the middle. Quick touch shot. Good luck. But unable to corral that ball enough. Cassie Lee to get the touch shot in. That would have been a fantastic play.
Yeah, and, you know, she would have gotten it, too. It's just she wasn't able to be patient enough to let the ball get all the way in her hand. She tried to use her fingertips to just slip the ball in. Didn't have enough power on it.
Wide open on the inside. Who lost? Rio Americano's Emmy Savage, but then Savage on the point-blank shot goes over the top of the cage. Huge opportunity right there for Rio Americano, but unable to convert.
More notable, huge opportunity missed. Rio could have had a big 2-goal lead here early in the game, and that could have gone a long way towards winning them the game.
And I think it was Hannah Hanko who lost sight of her or the offensive player there for a minute and breathing a sigh of relief, that's for certain. Here's another long pass. Open is Haley Baker. Will lightning strike twice? Yes, save. Oakdale.
And that is another impressive save by Haley Benson, the senior goalkeeper. She is playing excellently here in the first quarter and really, really saving her team.
I say lightning strike twice, but it's hit Rio Americano both times and not in a positive fashion.
No, not at all, and they have missed a couple opportunities, but they keep getting them back. The defense, that's their third consecutive steal.
Nice steal on the play that time by Raya Minnow. As Dodderer barking out the offensive signals, calling for Emily Perry. Perry gets the ball in the offensive end just across midpool. 3:13 left. Tough defense right there. Perry's having trouble getting rid of it. Shelby Stender all over defensively. There's 4, there's 3, there's 2. Stender a steal. Nice defense by Stender. And now we got a whistle.
And an exclusion.
Wow. And an opening, and Stender going to pass it back out. Second power play opportunity for Oakdale. Can they take advantage with 2:52 remaining opening period? Point blank shot and a point blank save. Dodderer looking like an octopus there. Did she only have 2 arms up or 8?
I thought it was 4, looking like Vishnu right there.
I don't know how she made that stop. That was a great look. And another long pass. This is fast break water polo right now, folks. A lot of fireworks out there. And we got an exclusion on the part of Oakdale.
Yeah, and whereas last game it was a defensive struggle, so far it's been fire at will, and the goalkeeper's making the big plays here early.
Haley Baker with the ball outside. Power play opportunity, second of the game. Rio Americano, 1 out of 1. The Raiders looking to make this a 2-0 lead. Pass, skip pass near side, goes to Brown. Brown shot wide. And into the corner. They're going to say Oakdale ball is our officiating crew. 2:05 left.
And already, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have the same amount of exclusions this game in the first quarter that we did the whole last game in the boys D2 game.
That's absolutely correct. With the ball on the far side, Katie Vanderberg. Vanderberg with 19 in the shot clock. Vanderberg looks to dump it inside. Paul taken away. More good defense. Neil, you pointed it out. Seems to be the hallmark of Rio Americano right now, at least today for the boys and the girls.
Yeah, and that was their 5th consecutive steal. They are pickpocketing the ball without any resistance right now.
Celeste Brown with the ball on the near side. After a long pass, skip pass to the far side. Open, great options here for Rio Americano, and the goal goes to McGree McDougall.
That was an excellent goal. She aimed right for the inside part of the far sidebar and hit her target right on the money. And as a result, Rio takes a 2-0 lead.
Rio Americano, the number 1 seed, beat River City 18-7, Dixon 11-3, and then shut out McClatchy 13-0. So they've only given up 10 goals in 3 games.
Yet another impressive Rio Americano squad. They are the perennial powerhouse in this area for water polo, both boys and girls.
Yeah, that's why it was such an upset when Oakdale beat them last year. 10 championships in a row. And then last year, Rio Americano doesn't even make the finals. Oakdale with the ball on the near side. This is Emily Stolken. Stolken passed in the interior. Shot goes off the top of the crossbar from Cassie Lee. She gets the ball back, and then has it poked away from the backside by Emily Perry.
And she has got to score that goal.
Oh, we got a yellow card on Tyson Friend. Friend is not happy about that. He was not happy with the lack of call, I think, that time. He was looking for someone going over the top of one of his players from Oakdale.
You know, and it's funny that he's saying that because from my angle, it looked like it was his player that was going over the top of Oakdale's player to prevent that goal.
Maybe there was some contact away from the ball that he was referencing. But Oakdale being very aggressive, and Coach Friend not happy with the aggressive play so far and the lack of calls. 35 seconds left in the period. A very entertaining first period with a lot of fireworks.
Oh, yeah, and we've had more shots here in the first quarter than, I mean, most of this game has been much more offensively based, a lot more firepower we've been seeing here early in this one.
Certainly a lot more tense, aggressive. Here's a pass to the near side, 4 on the shot clock, 3, 2, Oakdale is just going to dump it with 11 seconds on the game clock. As Oakdale losing a cap there. I believe that might have been Cassie Lee whose cap came off. Meanwhile, Daughter looking for someone to pass to with 8, with 7, with 6. She might be content to just hold on to the ball here and take a 2-0 lead into the first quarter break. 5 seconds remaining on the clock.
And, yeah, it looks like that's exactly what she's going to do.
Good idea. Smart play here, especially after the aggressive play in the first period. That does end the first 7 minutes of action. 2-0 Rio Americano leading it over Oakdale High School. You're following all the water polo action from the Sac-Joaquin section right here on your home for championship events and your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here today? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Jeff Kurtz alongside Neil Martin. We are poolside at the Woodcreek High School Aquatic Complex here in Roseville, California. A fantastic day for water polo, a little bit of a chill in the air, which always smacks and smells of football championships coming down the pipeline. And we've got a lot of activity going to be taking place in the Sac-Joaquin section championship-wise over the upcoming weeks. Water polo today. We've got soccer going on at Cosumnes Oaks High School right now and Lincoln High School in Stockton. We got a football game for you tonight, Christian Brothers at Cosumnes Oaks. Meanwhile, next week, girls volleyball finals from UC Davis on Thursday. We've got more football playoff games for you on Friday. And then the week after that, more football on Friday after Thanksgiving. 2 championships in Division 5 and 6 that Saturday. And then we culminate our Sac-Joaquin section coverage here in the fall with championship games, Divisions 1 through 4 on November 30th and December 1st. But if you didn't jot that all down and put it into your Google Calendar when I was telling you about it, just go to our broadcast schedule page over the next coming weeks and you'll be able to find the games that we'll be covering. We'll have up next week's games on Monday. So, Neil, as we look through the first period of play, a lot of activity, and it seems like a lot more tension in this game than even our last game, Boys Division 2. Obviously a new set of opponents here, but Rio Americano playing with a certain fire and Oakdale a certain aggressiveness, but that's not translating into points for the Mustangs.
Well, and you know what it looks like to me? It looks like Rio wants revenge for the occurrences of last year's semifinal because this game has been much more hostile than the last game was. We've already had, I believe, 3 or 4 exclusions, which is as much as we had all of the boys D2 final, and both teams really are just firing away at the goalies like there's going to be no tomorrow. And it's been really entertaining, really aggressive. And right now, Rio only has a 2-goal lead, a really good game.
Last year, Oakdale winning 4-2 in that semifinal match. So Rio Americano has already equaled their goal total from last year's game. Oakdale again to the left-hand side. Rio Americano to the right. We're ready for the second period of play. Our officials are got a quick timeout. I don't know if there's something wrong with the ball.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what the issue is.
Looks like it might be a little soft.
Yeah, and they're going to get a replacement from the Rio bench, and we should be starting, yeah.
That was our official, Brian Masson, who is making sure that the ball, I pumped at the right pressure.
Yeah, I know.
But we are good. And we're ready. And here we go, the sprint to the middle. Put your two fastest swimmers in the closest end. The ball gets dropped in the interior. Who gets there first? It's Oakdale. That was Vanderberg. Nice job by Katie Vanderberg, the senior, getting to the ball first and quickly dishes to Cassie Lee. Lee has recovered her cap. That points to how aggressive it was. There were two caps left in the pool for Oakdale, one at the beginning of the game, and Lee's came off towards the end of the period.
It just shows you how hostile both of these teams are towards each other after the occurrences of the past few years.
And a pass in the interior. Lee is open. Lee's got a player on her and then dishes off to Vanderberg to her right. And now we got a whistle away from play.
Not sure what the call is here.
Clock stopping with 6:20 left. I see what our problem was. There's 6:20 left. We're 40 seconds in, and there's 17 on the shot clock, and we just started about 13 seconds ago. So I think they need to reset this to maybe 6:47 is my guess.
Something around there. Yeah, I think you're right. Ref discussing it right now with
I thought that was a little odd.
table.
We would have had a score clock or a shot clock violation.
Yeah. Well, irregardless, the ref and the score table getting it worked out.
Yeah, and Shelby Stender and Celeste Brown enjoying a moment of levity in the pool there for a second. So they're getting this score, the clock situation figured out. Are they going to put it at 6:42, or are they still adjusting it? It looks like they're still adjusting it. 2-0 our score, folks. After this game at about 1 o'clock, we'll have Boys Division I and then Girls Division I finishing our day at 2:30. We've got overcast skies here, patchy clouds, and a little bit of sun peeking through from time to time. Not a bad day for water polo, though bundle up a little bit if you're heading out here for Division I later on today. Well, it's a little cool.
And the ones who are most not fazed by the weather right now are going to be the players in the pool. It's always going to be heated to around a nice 88 degrees, and they're probably feeling nice and toasty right now.
Yeah, actually, it seems somewhat bit of an oxymoron that the best place to be right now on a cold day in Sacramento is in water. But
yeah.
when the pool is heated, there you go. So the clock is set to 6:42, and meanwhile, the Rio Americano fans in particular, and I think some of the boys players from the previous game are saying, hey, wait a minute. There should be then with 18 seconds, there should be 12 in the shot clock. We're showing 17 right now, so not quite sure. They're still sorting it out.
Yeah, this is
So a long delay. And honestly, the thing I'm most impressed by is all the girls in the pool and their ability to tread water. Nobody's grabbing anything right now. They've just been treading water this entire time like we're just standing around.
Nobody's drowned yet, so
I
know.
would say
That's a good sign.
Yeah. It just points to the conditioning in water polo. I mean, you always have these arguments over who is the best conditioned athletes, a lot of it basketball, or you talk about cross country, or if you're running a marathon, or, football players have to go hard and you're getting hit. But water polo combines a little bit of all of that, and you're not allowed to touch the bottom of the pool, so you've got to be treading water the entire time.
Well, yeah, and water polo definitely requires more conditioning than I would say any other sport, because in order to stay afloat, you have to use your whole body, not just your legs.
Well, the fans really into it. We got the clock situation set. There's 12 in the shot clock. We're 18 seconds into the second period. Now with 4, now with 3, now with 2. Shot is not even going to reach the goaltender Dotterer, and the ball goes the other way. So much ado results in nothing for Oakdale, and the score remains 2-0.
Yeah, and you got to wonder how frustrated Oakdale's coach must be after it looked like they were going to get 17 on the shot clock. Play almost resumed, but then Rio corrected the ref, and as a result, really not a great shot taken by Oakdale's offense.
Pass to the near side. And with it and finally dumping it is Celeste Brown. We go the other way. One thing I'm noticing already, Dotterer, very active in the communication from goal for Rio Americano. She's actually counting down the shot clock for her teammates. And we didn't hear that too much on the boys' side, either because the crowd was much louder or maybe the goalies were a little bit quieter. But Dotterer very vocal back there in goal, giving direction, anchoring this team. Meanwhile, with the ball on the near side, Vanderberg. Vanderberg looking for someone in the 5-meter area. Dumps it in there. We got a steal.
And, yeah, we do. It looked like that might go back to Rio for a second after the refs blew the whistle. But
Haley Baker got there first for the Raiders. 5:35 left in the half. Excuse me, Neil.
It's all good. Yeah, I was just going to say that Oakdale still hasn't really gotten their offense set yet when they've been down on this side of the pool. And, again, we see Rio's claim to fame being defense. They played excellent defense in the boys' final, and so far you're playing excellent defense in the girls' final.
Lee with the steal off the pass from Emily Perry, so Oakdale returns the defensive favor. Now 5:10 remaining in the half. Lee trying to get started, and she's temporarily slowed down by McDougal.
And Lee's been slowed down at about mid-pool several times here early on in the game, and that might not seem like a big deal, but it is. You're wasting 5 extra seconds to get down the pool to set your offense up.
Long shot by Swarthout goes well wide right. And now Rio Americano on the attack. And here's a long, fast break. We saw a number of these earlier on, and getting to that one is Lee. But you get the sense that for the girls' side of things, they're willing to push tempo, are the Raiders, to see if they can get a leak out.
Yeah, and
get a good look.
They are much faster than the boys' team was compared to their opponents, whereas the boys' team was more strong. So really the difference is there in terms of just physical body type. You see how that plays out in the pool and how it affects tempo.
A long shot by Lee goes over the top of the cage. Back the other way we go. Well, and it seems like both teams here are willing to take a few more risks. Rio Americano's boys team, it seemed like the strategy was we're going to pack it in, we're going to play it tight, we're going to double team El Camino's big players. Here, Rio Americano's opening it up a little bit, and Oakdale trying to do the same.
Yeah, definitely last game, the message was ball control. The message this game, fire at will.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, El Camino with the ball is going to pass near side. 4 on the clock, 3 on the clock, 2 on the clock, and just more ball control right here. Neither team really getting off a powerful shot. So Oakdale now going to see if they can get it going on the offensive end.
And they have not been able to do that with much effectiveness here early. They try and get it in deep, and we're not able to do so. And then quick shot blocked.
Nice job by Dotterer in goal.
And that was the second big save that we've seen by Dotterer. So far, she's pitching a shutout. Mind you, it is early, but she has played very well so far.
3:40 left in the half. Well, as befits maybe championship games, low scoring.
Well, yeah, and you definitely see that the higher up in the ranks you get of water polo, because really, when you start playing water polo when you're young, you're going to score a lot because defense is much more based in theory, based in scheme, and you don't really learn that until you're higher up, and that's what we're seeing here in the championships today.
Lee, another long shot. She's trying to slip one just underneath the top of the cage, but can't get it to go. It goes long, and now on the attacking end, Haley Baker passes into the corner. This one goes to McDougal, back to Baker. 3:08 left in the half. Dump down low. McDougal open far or near corner. Her lob shot is tapped away by Benson. What a save.
That was an excellent save. That would have slipped just under the crossbar, but Benson was there. And again, we see great goalie play here on the past 2 possessions.
Meanwhile, the ball is going to be passed into the interior. Now in the 2-meter area, point-blank shot deflected away by Rio Americano. They're letting him play. Lee was looking for a call, didn't get one.
Yeah, and she was just unlucky to not get a call there. It looked like there should have been a foul on Emily Perry, but no foul was called. So Rio gets ball back. We have a player missing a cap.
Yeah, another player capless at the moment, and they're continuing on. Pass outside, back to McDougal. That might be Baker, I think. She's been lining up on this side. 7 on the clock, 6, 5 now. McDougal is going to pass into the 2-meter or 5-meter area. The shot is going to be saved by Benson. Not a bad look by Emmy Savage. Long pass, fast break opportunity, 3-on-3. This is Stender. And Stender, a point-blank shot, misses, doesn't get in, save Dotterer. Wow.
That was just great reflexes there by Dotterer. The ball was blocked by her, ricocheted off the crossbar, and then down off of her back, almost into the goal, but she was able to scoop it out in time.
Yeah, if it crosses the plane there, much like in football, that's a goal. But right now, Rio Americano content to play clock, as we've got a hooking call is going to be going against Haley Baker, I think. Is that the far side? No. Yeah, it is Baker, excuse me. So she does have her cap. Don't know who the unidentified player is at the moment. Still playing capless for Rio Americano. And what a backside play defensively. Emily Perry gets a hand in there, knocks the ball away from Stolken, who looked like she had a point-blank shot on Dotterer, and Dotterer with the save. Yeah. A minute left in the half.
Dotterer with the save, though, you said, and that really was a combination of great play by Rio's defenders and another great play by their goalie. And as at first it looked like this game might be high scoring, might be a shootout, but since then both defenses have settled in, both goalies have settled in, and we really haven't seen any goals since the first quarter.
Well, we've got an exclusion on Cassie Lee, who's also lost her cap. We've got a timeout called by Rio Americano. They're going to set something up with 55 seconds left. It has been a game played more in fits and starts, Neil, a little more frenetic than what we've seen what we saw earlier today. And it's hard to get a feel for the rhythm of the game, and Rio Americano seems to have been content to just hang on to the ball, keep it away from Oakdale, and nurse this 2-goal lead. Do you like that strategy?
I think it's all right. I think that if you were playing a team that maybe was better at getting down the pool quicker, it wouldn't be the best strategy to use. But Oakdale hasn't proven that they can get down the pool quickly yet. We see Paige Lee, who has been at the point for her offense every possession, and she's been held up at mid-pool for 2, 4, 6, sometimes even up to 10 seconds. And that in and of itself affects an offense a massive amount. So Oakdale really, they're getting shut out because they just have not been able to get anything going on offense.
And a lot of long shots on the part of Oakdale. I venture to guess that Coach Klein is going to see what she can do, maybe make some adjustments at halftime where they can work the ball in closer. But then the last couple of plays, they've had shots in close. It's just been a fantastic defensive play on the part of Rio Americano that has prevented a goal from being scored.
Dotterer also definitely part of that. The defenders and Dotterer working as a team very effectively. And like you said, pitching a shutout. I mean, that is the number of the half right there. No goals by Oakdale.
55 seconds left in the first half. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Power play opportunity for Rio Americano. Could take a very commanding 3-0 lead if they score here. At the half, folks, Neil and I will step away for just a couple of minutes, then come back with the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. Get you ready for the second half of action. These games move quickly. You sit down for a moment. Halftime's only 5 minutes. We barely have a chance to breathe and take a couple of sips of the water before we're back at it.
You know, we've broadcast a lot of sports together. Nothing ever like this, though. This is one fast-paced day.
It is, certainly. Dotterer is going to get things going. She's going to pass to the near side. Ball goes to Perry. Perry to Minnow. Minnow, far side. This is Savage. Savage skips to Perry.
And Oakdale playing pretty good defense here.
Shot. Does it get in? No. Top of the bar and then bounces forward.
Lucky break there for Oakdale. That should have been a goal 9 times out of 10.
So the power play fails. Even strength. And now we've got a pass to the near side. This is Nethery on the attack. Back out to Stender.
And look at the difference after the timeout. Oakdale getting down the pool much quicker, passing quicker,
It's a power play right now. We had an exclusion. We've got the shot clock turned off. We've got 8 seconds left. This would be huge for Oakdale if they can get a goal. They've got 5. They've got 4. They've got 3. They've got 2. They've got 1. They're not going to get a shot off. They have the power play, but they don't get the shot off. They're 0 for 3 on power play opportunities. No goals through the first 14 minutes for Oakdale. This is going to make for a very interesting second half of play. We will be back in just a little bit with the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. The girls Division II championship game from Woodcreek High School, the Aquatic Complex. 2-0 Rio Americano leading the Mustangs. Back with more in a few moments. An abbreviated PlayOnSports.com halftime show, folks. We were trying to get who scored the other goal for Rio Americano, and it was Brown who got that goal. The first goal of the game they gave to Celeste Brown, so she's got one in the contest. McDougal's got the other. Jeff Kurtz alongside Neil Martin. Oakdale now just returning to their bench. They are now going right to left in the white caps. Rio Americano left to right in the black caps. Keys to the second half, Neil, 2-0 Rio Americano leading it, and they have been dominant on the defensive end.
Rio just needs to keep doing what they are doing, but Oakdale needs to do what really El Camino needed to do in the last game. Increase their offensive efficiency, pass the ball more, find more openings, be more patient with your shots, take higher percentage shots. Just be better on offense.
Well, it's certainly within reach for Oakdale, and also the ball within reach for Katie Vanderberg, who's won all 3 of the sprints to the ball to begin the period. And now with it, Cassie Lee. Lee's going to dump it far side to Swarthout. We had an interesting first half, each team with power play opportunities. Oakdale 0 for 3, Rio Americano 1 for 3. Coach Tyson Friend for Rio Americano got a yellow card. We had players losing caps. We had spectators in an uproar over a clock situation at the beginning of the second period. And amidst all that, my broadcast partner managed to down a cup of noodles. Not bad. Not a bad first half as the first shot from Oakdale goes, again, a long-range shot over the cage, long outlet pass. This goes to Savage. Savage has an opportunity for the right wing. Savage takes it in. She's got a player on her back. She's got a half step, and we've got a whistle.
That should be an exclusion on Oakdale. I was waiting for that call, but it does not look like they're going to be called for an exclusion.
Savage is going to back it up and reset. 10 on the shot clock. Daughter barking out the time. 8-7, ball far side. 6-5, shot on goal. Easy save for Benson.
Good defense there by Oakdale to start the second half. They're going to need to continue doing that if they want to get back in this game.
Minnow might have been better served right there, just dumping the ball in, Neil, and keeping it away from Benson instead of letting her get set up. Defense now back, but with it is Swarthout. Swarthout, stolen. And here goes Savage again. Her second breakaway opportunity, and there's our exclusion. You were looking for it before. We get it there on Vanderberg.
And now it's 3 on the goalie.
3 on the goalie. Amazing. You can just dump this off. There it is. Easy goal. Emily Perry with the fireworks.
That was a huge defensive breakdown for Oakdale. The only defensive player in the defensive part of the pool gets called for an exclusion, and as a result, Rio picks up an easy third goal.
Courtney Shaw with the assist. That was a little bit like fish in a barrel right there.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Benson was on an island by herself with a lot of savages.
Yeah, and when you're the goalie in that situation, you don't have a chance. You have no shot at blocking that when you have 3 people just on you, unless you were to be Mr. Incredible and grow your arms, but, you know.
Timeout called by Diane Klein of the Oakdale Mustangs, now trailing 3-0. And from the look on her face, I get the sense that the speech is going to be not so much strategic as it is inspiring. It's really gut check time, girls. You know, we've worked all year for this. You were in the championship game last year, but now we got to make something happen, and we trail 3-0. It's up on you. 5:26 remaining in the third.
Yeah, and this certainly should be a motivational talk from the coach, because really they've played pretty decent water polo, just a couple mistakes here and there, and it's led to 3 Rio goals. Of course, you've had 2 defensive breakdowns that led to goals, and then 1 bad exclusion that led to the third. So just not really great on the defensive side and on the mistake side. So if they can improve just their execution a little tiny bit, they can probably get back in this one pretty quickly.
Meanwhile, for Rio Americano, they did a great job of ball control in the second period. Haven't allowed a goal yet. Have kept Oakdale from getting into good sets and have been forcing them to take shots beyond the 5-meter mark a lot, and sometimes beyond the 10.
Yeah, and they're going to keep doing that. Rio, known for great defense. We saw with the boys team. We're seeing it here with the girls team. It's really, really the bread and butter of every team that Tyson Friend has coached.
Friend in his first year as the girls coach, second year as the boys. He's got 2 championships with the boys. He's looking for a third here with the girls. The trophy case in the Friend household is going to fill up pretty rapidly at this rate, but still a lot of water polo to be played. Benson gets it going to Lee. Lee, as Rio Americano presses and then backs up. Lee waiting for someone to get open, looking for an angle. Not many there. Dumps it in the inside. We've got ourselves a steal.
Not a good pass there by Lee. She threw that ball to an offender that was covered by 4 defenders. It's not going to get you many goals.
Stender was open briefly, but there's just not a whole lot. Meanwhile, a pass on the inside. Once again, breaking free is Savage. She's got an opportunity. She's trying to get a shot off. We've got a whistle. Savage has to back it out, and she will. Nice defense by Oakdale. Ball back into Savage. Going to be knocked away. Even better defense again. There's Emily Stolken.
Nice D there by Stolken. Just scoops that ball away and got the ball back to her goalie. And now they have another offensive opportunity, and they really need a goal to get some momentum.
Lee and Swarthout playing a little two-player game out high. Another lob, and Dodderer maintains her balance enough to deflect it away with the left hand. Well, you see what Lee's trying to do. She's trying to get one in underneath the top of the crossbar, but has not had success. 2 have gone over the top of the net, and that time Dodderer with a great save.
Yeah, and it was a great save, and it had to be a great save because that was actually a pretty good shot. Despite the fact that it was a lob shot, it was on target. And typically, you will score that one. She had a pretty open look, and the goalie was on the other side of the goal.
There is a battle going on down low between, I believe that's Stolken and McDougall in that 5-meter area. That was a battle for post position that would make Dwight Howard proud. I mean, that was with the ball the other way, Swarthout. Swarthout goes far side to Lee. Lee with 9 on the shot clock, 3:37 remaining in the third, takes another long shot to get over the net. Lee seems to be the best option for right now. Oakdale has been unable to work it into the interior, Neil.
Yeah, she is unique in the fact that she's able to find an open shot no matter where she is in the pool. And you need players like that, especially when you're playing a great team like Rio. But so far, she's been a little off target, other than that one lob shot that almost went in, but it was a great save by Dodderer.
Lee fouls Perry. Near side with it, Baker. Baker with 12 on the shot clock. Here's a pass inside, broken up by Swarthout. Swarthout that time battling with Brown. Here's a long pass into the offensive end, grabbed by Oakdale. Breaking free is Stender. And we've got an exclusion.
Yeah.
This is a power play, the 4th of the game for Oakdale.
And Oakdale needs this goal really, really desperately. They need to maximize their opportunities starting now.
The wind picking up a little bit here, pool side. Lee with the ball on the far side. 2:45 left. Here's the shot, deflected Dodderer.
Dodderer comes up big again. Another great save on her part.
A fresh shot clock for Oakdale with 2:41 to play.
Only 3 seconds left in the exclusion, though, so they're going to need to get a quick shot off here if they want a power play goal.
Oakdale trying to get the quick look. We are back at even strength now, and still with the ball is Oakdale. 2:35 to play. 24 on the shot clock. Plenty of time for Oakdale here trying to get their first goal of the game. Lee with the ball forced way outside. A long pass, skip pass near side. This is Stender. Stender with 10. Stender trying to go that long shot, top of the crossbar.
And again, the lob shot almost gets Dodderer, as Dodderer is playing a little far out on those defensive series, but
great pass by Dodderer into the front end. Here's Brown, the shot, goal!
Great offense there by Rio. A great pass by Dodderer to get it in deep.
And the goalie with the assist.
Yeah, and Celeste Brown just cleaned it up, got the easy goal, and Rio increases their lead.
What a pass by Dodderer. She threw that ball from the left side of the cage to her left, all the way into the offensive end over Brown's right shoulder, where she grabbed the ball, broke away from the defender, and got the goal.
Yeah, that would pass.
And somewhere Tom Brady is saying,
yeah.
I feel a presence of a great pass that just got completed here somewhere else. That was a fantastic throw.
I was just going to say that was a pass that would make any NFL quarterback proud.
Aaron Rodgers is taking notes. Meanwhile, a turnover. Rio Americano back the other way. A minute 47 to go in the third.
And now Rio, they just need to burn clock now. When you're up by 4 goals, even though you're in the third quarter, you can start to think about just burning clock throughout the rest of the game. That's a pretty big advantage for them.
McDougal passes into the offensive end. Thinking offense, though, is Savage. She gets to the ball. She takes the shot, and a nice save by Benson. Gets her right hand on the ball.
Yeah, and Savage was a little delayed in getting to that ball. Maybe it held a little bit. No call, though. But then a nice save by Benson.
A minute 15 left in the third. Neil, it seems imperative that Oakdale get a goal here before the end of this third period to give themselves any opportunity in the fourth.
Yeah.
Pass near side Nethery. Into the inside one of the few times Oakdale's been able to get into the inside, and an exclusion. 5th power play coming up here for Oakdale.
And you say that, the 5th power play, and yet they still have no goals, really speaks to the talent of this Rio defense.
Swarthout goes far side, 20 on the shot clock. Here's the look, the lob, the touch shot. No, can't be executed. Turnover. Rio Americano's got it.
And again, great defense, great power play defense. The MVP of this one has just got to be, in general, the Rio defense once again.
No kidding, and anchored by great play and goal right now by Daughter. Another pass in the offensive end. Savage breaks free. Savage with a look. Savage with a goal. Back of the net.
And there, in 2 consecutive possessions, you see what to do on defense, and then just following it, what not to do.
The transition game slips away from Oakdale on those last 2 possessions. 25 seconds to play in the period, and Rio with a commanding 5-0 lead, the Raiders over the Mustangs.
Yeah, and Oakdale really needs a goal, just more than ever before. Their need for a goal just keeps growing with every passing possession, and it does not look like they're going to get one anytime soon.
The ball goes into Lee. Lee's on the inside this time. There's 14 seconds left. Ball is passed out after the quick whistle. Another whistle. The ball with Vanderberg. Vanderberg inside to Lee. Lee with 7 seconds. Lee with 5, Lee with 4, Lee with 3. Lee's going to dump the ball away, and that will end the third period. Rio Americano comfortably in front. 5-0 our score in this girls Division II championship game. You're following it on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information to links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Well, Neil, as we turn our attention to the fourth period, are we in the process of coronating Rio Americano again as the girls Division II champion, or does Oakdale have a shot?
Honestly, I would love to say Oakdale has a shot. I simply don't think that's the case. Rio is playing inspired water polo right now. Their defense has been literally perfect. They're pitching a shutout. They haven't allowed any open looks. They are playing a flawless game, and the offense is just cleaning up.
Yeah, 2 goals on fast break opportunities by Savage getting the last one, and then Brown the one before that.
Yeah,
and those 2 goals were huge. I mean, that is really increased the margin.
Yeah, and Rio is just gonna, their whole scheme, I can hear Coach Friend right now. He is saying the clock, the clock, the clock, and the clock. Because now the clock is your friend when you're up 5 goals. they're going to be playing keep-away offense from the beginning of this fourth quarter.
Well, and we did this calculation in the boys' game in the fourth period, but you figure you have somewhere between 7 to 10 possessions, maybe, if you're Oakdale, probably closer to 7. You've got to score on 5 of 7 when you have yet to score in the game, and you've got to hold your opponent to 0. And that is going to be a tall order.
It's not going to happen. I can't see it happening unless Oakdale, sticks an Olympian in the pool and we don't catch them.
So you've got it. Mark the time, folks. Neil Martin calling it. Calling the election here at about noon. He's giving it to Rio Americano, but we got 7 minutes of water polo left to be played. Let's see what happens. Oakdale going right to left, Rio Americano left to right. Oakdale has been effective in getting to the ball first on these sprints. Vanderburg has been outstanding. Our official, Candace Walthaler, saying, hey, get your feet out as opposed to towards the wall, so we're making sure you're not pushing off. Ball in the middle. Vanderburg's going to get there first and get it to Lee. And now Lee's got to attack. In fact, everybody from Oakdale's got to attack. You might as well take some chances if you're Oakdale.
Yeah, and they're going to be as aggressive as they can possibly be. If you're the coach right now, you want to get 3, maybe even 4 players in front of the goal at all times because your main objective should be to penetrate and do it quickly.
Well, first break for Oakdale, they get a power play opportunity. They're 0 for 5 so far. 27 on the shot clock, 6:40 on the game clock. A lot of holding on to the ball right now by Vanderburg. She's looking for a good opening and somebody to get open, but you'd think moving the ball around might do that. Now Oakdale's starting to swing it. They've got a player open. Here's Vanderburg, but the pass a little high. That would have been open for a touch shot. 12 on the shot clock. Vanderburg with a player in her face. Shot, goal! And Oakdale is on the board. Vanderburg gets it going first. It's 5-1 with 6:20 left, and there's some life on the Oakdale bench.
Yep, well, at least it's not going to be a shutout. That's what head coach
You're still calling the election right here. I see it.
I am.
Oakdale with some substitutions. They're trying to claw their way back into this game. Now they got to come up with a defensive stop. This is what they've got to do, though. They've got to get the score. They got to get the stop, and that's the big thing coming up here.
Yeah, not only do they have to score and then stop, but then they have to score and stop again 4 more times.
We'll see. We will see. A steal, yes. Oakdale with a steal. Well, that goal has certainly inspired the Mustangs and their crowd. 5-1 our score. Benson looking for somebody deep. Gets it to Vanderburg. Vanderburg had an opening for a moment. Now as a player on her, keeping her head above water, gives it off to Swarthout. Swarthout, long shot, just skips wide right.
And if Oakdale plays like this the rest of the quarter, I may regret calling the election early.
Ball on the far side. Dumps into the low left corner. Rio Americano with 5:38 to play. Goes back outside. We've got a steal. Ball the other way. We got a whistle. Nice steal by Cassie Lee. Lee's got it. Lee's waiting. Lee's almost losing her cap again. Pass into the interior. This is Stender. Stender, another exclusion. 7th power play opportunity of the game for Oakdale. Point blank shot. Oakdale's got a chance. They got a goal again. Stolkin this time, and it's 5-2, and a timeout called by Rio Americano with 5:21 left in the game, and my broadcast partner starting to sweat a little bit.
Yeah, I'm starting to bite my tongue a little over here.
Well, Neil, the comeback for Oakdale so far, they're keeping themselves in the game. We said they had to score on every possession. They had to maximize their possession opportunities. They've had the ball 3 times. They've had 2 power plays on those 3 opportunities. They've scored on both.
Yeah, and really, Rio Americano, a couple of big mistakes to let the Mustangs back into this game. Still, though, 3-goal lead, pretty sizable margin, but not really. I mean, it could be made up in 5.5 minutes, without a doubt, especially when you have 2 timeouts left on the Oakdale side.
That's right. And 1 timeout remaining for Rio Americano. So if you're Tyson Friend, what are you telling your team? Other than, we can't be celebrating this thing too early here, girls. We got 5 minutes and 21 seconds left to play.
Well, that's exactly what I'd be telling him. I'd be telling him, calm down, just go back to what you were doing, get your minds back in the game. Don't be thinking trophy yet because you don't have it in your hands. Smelling it and tasting it are two completely different things, and they just need to go out there and execute like they were through 3 quarters.
Rio Americano trying to get their 11th championship in 12 years. Oakdale was on the cusp of one last year, having beat the powerhouse Raiders squad in the semis, but then lost to Del Oro in the finals. Now Oakdale trailing 5-2 after being behind 5-0 to begin the 4th period. Rio Americano will have the ball. Going left to right. Again, plenty of time left in this game.
Yeah, and look for
a minimum of 11 possessions left.
Yeah, and look for Oakdale to continue being aggressive because so far it's working. They're putting more people in front of the goal, and we've seen how that's working out for them.
Daughter is going to get things started. Going to pass into the offensive end, and the ball is quickly going to be swung near side to Baker, and we got another turnover, Cassie Lee. No, say the officials. Going the other way. Lee thought she had it. Now, meanwhile, they're waiting to get the call, and instead, an offensive opportunity. Baker near side, wide open, point blank. Charovsky misses wide.
Huge break there for Oakdale's defense.
They thought they had a steal and were lamenting they didn't get the call, and then almost gave one up.
And that would have been a huge game changer. The momentum would have gone back to Rio. Instead, Oakdale holds on to it. That was a huge break.
Stender passes to Nethery. Nethery inside Stolkin. Back out to Nethery. 8 on the shot clock. You got to get a good look. Lee with 4, with 3, with 2. She's got to put one. Nice spin move, but can't get the shot off in time.
And if she had had 2 more seconds, that looks like it would have been a goal.
That was a fantastic spin move, just too late in the clock. 4:23 to go. Quick whistle. Ball will remain Raiders ball. Pass far side. This is Brown. Brown's got 2 goals in the game. Dumps it into the interior. Ball taken away by Stender.
You know, and where was this Oakdale defense the first 3 quarters? I mean, you give up 5 goals in the first 3 frames of play, and all of a sudden your defense can do no wrong.
And then we've got a whistle, and the ball's going to go back the other way to Rio Americano on the sprint down to the other end. Rio Americano's got to start with it outside, and that's what they're going to do, but more time, which is in the Raiders' favor right now. 3:55 to play. Pass near side, good-looking pass over the head of Charovsky. She'll track it down the corner.
And Rio pretty spread out right now in terms of their offensive positioning. And an exclusion called on Oakdale away from the ball.
Nethery was trying to get position on McDougal and ended up hooking her. This is the 5th power play for Rio Americano. They're doing 50% right now, 2 out of 4. Near side, this is Charovsky. Back out to Baker. Baker looking. Baker with 12 on the shot clock. Far side, shot, goal. Huge goal right there for the Raiders. That one comes from Emily Perry, her 2nd of the game.
And Rio Americano claims Florida in the election.
There you go. You're feeling better right now. 6-2 with 3:19 left in the game.
Yeah, that goal is a huge game changer because it puts the momentum back into Rio's favor, and now they have everything going for them once again.
Swarth out. With it, near side, Stender. Stender looking into the inside. People trying to get open, in particular Lee. Stender pushed way back by McDougal.
Yeah, and look at this.
Stender out near mid-pool, 10 on the clock, down low. This is Vanderberg. Vanderberg with 6, with 5, with 4, with 3. Tries to get a break and does it. Nice defense by Charovsky.
Yeah, and that was just not a great offensive possession by Oakdale. I don't know what Vanderberg was trying to prove there, but she was just fighting her defender to the end. And as a result, just not able to get anything going for her offense.
Pass inside with an open look and another goal. Rio Americano. This time it's Savage who's got 2 in the game, joining Brown and Perry.
Yeah, and Rio's offense now gets back into its rhythm, and it looks like this game is going to go Rio's way. 2 consecutive goals, and now their margin is back to 5.
7-2. That was a well-timed timeout on the part of Coach Tyson Friend.
Yeah, and you know what? We've seen how coaching has affected the games here in this in the 2 water polo matches we've seen today, and Coach Friend, certainly a great one, despite being a inexperienced coach, if you can even call it that.
Well, maybe not inexperienced, but certainly not a long time at the helm of the Rio Americano girls and boys program, but been involved with water polo for a long, long time. 2 minutes to play. Turnover. Rio Americano with a steal. Coming away with it is Perry.
Yeah, excuse me for that. I didn't mean to suggest that
right.
He was not a
so
not a good coach.
Walked off the parking lot and said, "Hey, I'll put the team together." He's been coaching club for a long time, played, and now involved at Rio Americano, continuing to guide an outstanding program. We've got a whistle and a pass near side, and another exclusion where right now 60% is what Rio Americano is doing on these. This is their 6th. And the shot just misses with 1:30 to go.
And Oakdale really just battling for pride now. They would like to get a couple more goals to at least make the scoreboard, make the game seem close.
Well, I'll tell you, Rio Americano for 3 periods played flawless water polo, had a little bit of a letdown for about 3 minutes, and then got back on track. And when they did get back on track, you saw 2 quick goals.
And that all goes back to the coaching. We mentioned Coach Friend. You said he had a well-timed timeout, and I think you're spot on. Coaching can do a lot to calm athletes down, especially at the high school level when athletes are younger and things get to their heads easier.
Rio Americano is going to use another timeout. They are out of timeouts with 1:04 to play. Just going to set things up for the final push as they lead it 7-2 here in the Girls Division II Championship. And then we move to Division I. We will have the boys game for you at approximately 1 o'clock. And then the Girls Division I final at 2:30. Granite Bay High School will be playing in boys D1 against Davis. And then the girls D1 game will feature Davis and St. Francis. Those should be some outstanding matches that we'll have for you. But stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show. If we've got time, folks, we'll have an interview with our player of the game from the victorious Rio Americano Raiders.
Barring miracle goals.
Yes, exactly. Barring the greatest turnaround in water polo history. Daughter will start out with the ball and goal as Rio Americano getting in. Minnow back into the game, the junior. Emmy Savage, Emily Perry looking at Brown and UC Davis respectively to continue their water polo careers. In fact, Coach Friend telling me Emmy Savage is having a really rough weekend, Neil, after winning the championship today. Tomorrow flying to Brown for a recruiting visit.
Oh, yeah, that's just gotta be brutal.
That is a tough weekend.
Yeah, you know, we've seen a lot of great players out here today. We in the last game, we talked to El Camino's head coach about, well, which one of your players is getting college looks, and he really couldn't single anybody out because he's like, they're all college level players, you know, and that's the case with some of these really talented teams, especially here today, and Rio Americano, no exception. They have a roster full of college talent.
Lee is trying to get her cap tied on, and once that's done, we'll get rolling here. She's ready to go. Daughter gets a splash of water in her face as the ball comes in. Suffers the indignity and gets the offense going. Passes it into the offensive end with under a minute to play.
And Rio is just going to milk this clock to the end, and Oakdale might get one more possession, but it looks like Rio is going to get this game done.
Rio Americano is going to get to that ball first, too. That's Celeste Brown, who's going to dish it back out to Savage, burning a little more time. Fresh shot clock as well, 45 seconds to play. And on the exclusion, shot, nice deflection by Benson. 33 seconds left. Long pass, here's Lee. Lee's gonna take it in. Lee's got a 2-on-1. Lee's got a shot opportunity, and there's the lob she was looking for all game long. Finally goes Cassie Lee. It's gonna be too little too late, but finally successful on that. 21 seconds to play, it's a 7-3 score.
Yeah, and Daughter was inching up there and kind of just gave her that lob shot, trying to waste a little time, I think, or get the ball back.
Yeah, with the shot clock turned off, Daughter can just hold on to it. I mean, Lee's going to try to pressure her a little bit, but she's going to wait. Now 14, now 13, now gives it off to the near side to Brown. Brown goes far side with 7, with 6. I think Coach Friend is going to need to call somebody to get a third change of clothes because he's just won his first girls water polo championship. Congratulations to Rio Americano. They're 11th in the last 12 years. They take it 7-3 over Oakdale.
And you can see him right now grimacing. He's waiting for his girls to push him in the pool.
He said this was a team that last year wasn't able to gel at in the final stretch to play together. We were working on that all year long. I think he found a pretty complete game except for that short stint in the fourth period where the team was really, really effective.
Yeah, and you know what? And when they weren't effective, he made sure to get them back on track. Got to give Coach Friend a lot of credit, and also got to give a lot of credit to the players. It was a really, really well-played game by Rio Americano and a great day for their high school. 2 section titles in 2 games, so congrats to Rio Americano.
We're going to step away, get ready for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show. As already the D1 boys are in the pool. Davis and Granite Bay starting to warm up. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. can get a player up here.
Ah, that's good stuff.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.
Back here on the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, Jeff Kurtz joined by our player of the game, Avery Dodder, the goalkeeper for Rio Americano. The Avery Dodder fan club just walked by us a moment ago behind us. Congratulations, your senior year. You guys are champions once again. It must feel great.
It does. It definitely feels good to win with my teammates this year.
This defensive effort today, except for a brief lapse at the beginning of the fourth period, was outstanding. You had a number of great saves, but really just anchored a shutdown of Oakdale's offense. What did you guys do that allowed you to perform that way today defensively?
Preparation, I'd say. We practiced hard last Friday, and we just gave it all our all in the pool, and I think it definitely showed today, and I'm so proud of my teammates.
Talk a little bit about, too, the transition from offense to defense, because we noticed a couple of different times you guys would make a stop and then would get into offense really quickly with some fast break opportunities. How were you guys able to do that? Were you seeing some things that allowed for that to happen?
Yes, definitely. We have a lot of fast players, and they just know that as soon as they see that shot go up, that they need to sprint, get back on offense, and just to look for the ball to be passed to them, to hopefully for a score.
And you had an assist in this game that we got a phone call from Peyton Manning and Tom Brady wondering how you completed that over the back shoulder, throwing from the far part of the pool to the near side over here. It was a great look. Do you try to do that when you get the opportunity, or was this just one of those times where you're like, I'm just going to go for it?
I love passing long shots because I know that, like, if I make it, it's like hopefully we can score. But we just made eye contact, and I knew right then and there that, you know, Celeste was ready for it, and I just gave it to her.
Well, you did a fantastic job. How do you guys celebrate this now, the 11th championship for Rio Americano in the last 12 years?
I think we're going to go to Leatherby's and celebrate.
There you go. Rio Americano, Leatherby's. I don't think Avery's treating, but she'll certainly be there. Congratulations
Thank
once
you
again.
so much.
We'll be back wrapping up here on the PlayOnSports.com postgame show in just a few moments. Please stay with us.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard. Jeff Kurtz wrapping up here on the post game. Davis and Granite Bay already in the pool already for boys Division I. We'll have that for you in just a moment. Final from the Oakdale Rio Americano game. Rio Americano goes back-to-back, boys and girls. They win it 7-3 over Oakdale. We'll be back here from Woodcreek High School's Aquatics Center in just a few moments with the boys Division I game. Please stay with us. You're following the action on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot.